I have another guest for you, and I know I said earlier that I was gonna, well, Marlene already said her goodbyes, but the next guest that we have, I just felt like they're correlated, like the two topics are correlated and we shouldn't separate them. So I have asked Marlene to stay, and she graciously said yes. I kind of volunteered her services for a little longer. So, we have Michael Allen from Allen's Income Tax Services, and most of you are aware of Allen's Income Tax Services. It's tax season. We've been telling you guys to go out, do your taxes, the pros for getting your taxes done, and all of that. But as far as the services part, we have not really addressed that and have you know the importance of some of these services. And we're going to talk about one in particular because of something that my family and I are dealing with currently. And I was just thinking, how many other persons out there are dealing with this, haven't dealt with it, or will deal with it? And if we are able to assist you in any way, like I said, I don't take it lightly that you take 2 hours from your day to spend time with me. I really do appreciate it. And we're gonna have fun. We're gonna listen to great music. We're gonna do all the dancing and partying and fun stuff. But there comes a time when we have to take care of serious issues, and I feel like these are things that affects us and we need to take care of it. So Mr. Allen, good morning. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for
So
having
we have
me.
a nice sandwich with myself and you and Marlene, right? So we're gonna have a great conversation.
Yes, we do.
So the topic we're gonna talk about is insurance, life insurance, and the importance of having that to take care of those that are left behind. And there are a lot of people who say that, because I've heard it before, that's not life insurance, it's like death insurance because you can't access it until somebody dies. However, that is no longer true, right, Mr. Allen?
Right. Yeah,
Your life insurance can be beneficial to you when you're alive now.
Yeah, depends on the life insurance policy that you have, and the plan that you take out before you get sick. But yeah, either way, you can be beneficial of your life insurance before you kick the bucket, so to speak. But yeah, that's possible.
Okay, so my thing, because we're going to address, you got your life insurance at a certain stage in your life. So you're married, your children are young, maybe you're single but you live with your mom, you have your kids, different variations as to the living situation, your family unit. And so you take out the life insurance at that particular season in your life. Fast forward a few years, you get divorced, or if you were single, you get married, or you have more children, or unfortunately one of your child died, but you never revisited that policy. So the same policy you had when you were married with your now ex as a beneficiary, or your mom who passed, or your mom who got married since then and moved out and now have a life of her own, or your children who did the same, got married, now you have additional children that were never on there because they weren't around. You never revisited the policy. You never touched it.
Right, and this is for a lot of people, and this is one of the experience I've seen and I've heard that is common in the insurance industry, where persons take out a policy, and it's not even the policy, but it's more of the beneficiaries, because of course whenever you take a policy out, mandatory that you have to have a beneficiary. So if it's you as an individual, a corporation can also take out a policy. It doesn't matter who takes the policy out. The more important part of it is the beneficiary. Now, the common aspect of it is in cases where a spouse, a wife or husband take out a policy and the beneficiary is the spouse. Now, again, as you mentioned there, and about someone getting divorced, which is one of the most common thing where one of the spouse, I mean, they got divorced, and the policy holder
Never changed
never
the
changed
beneficiary.
because forget to do that, or just didn't get around to changing the beneficiary, or because they have the policy for so long, and or you have been married for so long, you just move on and not remembering that that policy is in effect. So what happened? Fast forward, the policy owner died, because that's when everything becomes
That's when you
effective.
look at the insurance policy.
Yeah, so the policy owner dies now, and then chances are, as you mentioned, during the period of divorce, maybe the policy owner married someone else, but then didn't remember, or it didn't click in their head to sort
Change
of
the
update
beneficiary.
the policy to change the beneficiary. And now you have the problem because, again, someone died and the beneficiary is still, because by law, even if you create a will and says, okay, I'm leaving my insurance to X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z or my current wife, but by law, because that beneficiary is still alive, everything, however that policy was set up, the original beneficiary it's still gonna be the recipient
So hold on one
of your
second.
insurance policy.
So you're telling me that I could be with someone who
Yep.
was married before, taking care of that person.
Yeah.
We moved on. We're good. There are no issues. That person's ex also moved on
Yep.
and has another spouse, has another family. And my spouse passes and the money goes to his ex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Then I would need
it's
Marlene's assistance because I would I would be mental, because not a lot of people are gonna think to say, okay, that was an oversight. The current
no, it doesn't.
widow should get the money,
Or
No.
the mother.
or the mother
No.
of the child, or however the current situation. So that person who's now in your past moved on.
Yep.
Before
Yes.
the person died, you had no communications. You don't know where in the world to find the person, and all of a sudden they show up and claim this money,
Yes.
and there is nothing that
No,
You
that
can't do-
person can do.
the current spouse cannot do anything about it.
because I'm sorry, Michael.
Go ahead.
What's in the policy supersedes your will.
Your will, yes. So even
I
if you
learned
create
that
a
out the
will,
hard way.
Oh wow!
Yes.
yeah,
Wow.
even if you create a will, it's not gonna be it's not gonna make any difference. And also because not only you married and your spouse you got divorced and your spouse becomes a beneficiary. Another thing also, you can have a designated beneficiary, and during the life of the policy, that beneficiary passed away. So that, say for example, you have only one beneficiary, and that beneficiary passed away. Say again, it's a wife and a husband. The husband has a policy, the wife passed away. Again, the husband didn't get around to
Changing
change
the
the
beneficiary.
beneficiary. Now he passed away.
Who gets
So-
that money?
The insurance company.
What?
Because
it goes
the-
unclaimed because the
Or
beneficiary
it goes
already
to
passed.
to the estate of the policy owner, because again there is nobody to
Claim the money.
to claim the money. So that's why you have to ever so often, as we talked about it earlier, you have to revisit your policy. If you have a policy for 5, 10 years, 20 years, however long it is important for you to revisit your policy as often as possible, update as often as possible, because as I mentioned earlier, situation changes. You can have more children, or you can
Right,
have
right.
additions or subtraction to your family. So if that's the case, you want to make sure you do that also to your policy. You go over it, and whatever needs to be changed in terms of your beneficiary, you want to make sure that is also taken care of. So at the end of the day, if God forbid that you should pass away, your family that is left behind does not have the problem of going through and trying to.
So let me ask you, because I see some questions in the chat room that I want to have them be a part. Robert in the UK is asking, do I need life insurance if I already get it through work? So if somebody's working